I like.
Ladies and gentlemen, turn your speakers up. It's time for the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast. Turn up the bass. A podcast discussing all things AEW and WWE. Oh yeah! Let's meet the hosts. First, a man hailing from the hub city in Indiana. He goes by @TooSweetKyle on Twitter. The host, Kyle Gagliardi. Enter co-host, hailing from the valley of Lake Tahoe. He goes by @JimTuck89 on Twitter. Jim Tucker. And last but not least, hailing from the cornfield somewhere in Indiana, the full-time part-timer, Ian Garavaglia. Turn up the bass. Be sure to follow us on Twitter, TikTok, and Instagram @PodOnTheMark.
What is going on, everyone? You're listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast, hosted by the Marks, for the Marks, and I'm your host, Mr. OTM Kyle Gagliardi. And joining me, as always, is the full-time part-timer himself, Ian Garavaglia. Ian, what's up, dog?
What's up, dog? Again, I told you before, definitely did not just join a minute, 15 seconds before the show started. Definitely did not just hop out of the shower, and definitely did not just take a 2-hour nap because I had a long day. Definitely did not.
Sounds like a very Ian day you had over there on a Thursday.
Yeah, we're thriving, enjoying work, and we're fucking grinding through it. So I'm excited. I'm happy.
You should be excited and you should be happy because we're talking about AEW, your favorite company, because you pick sides, right?
Yeah, I do pick sides. This is my only company I actually watch. The only company I actually really care about, obviously. I'm going to give this card an A+. We don't have to get into it. We could end the show early if you'd like.
No, because I wouldn't give the card an A+.
No, it's an A+. You're a hater.
Okay, sure. Fair enough. But if there's any other haters in the chat, make your presence known now. But hey, we took a week off. We're back. We're talking AEW Forbidden Door and NXT Heatwave going on this Sunday. Zach Minger was in the chat early. I don't know if you know who Zach is, but he said, Happy National Ice Cream Pie Day.
You know what?
What is ice cream pie?
I don't know, but
okay.
This becomes a segment where Zach comes in every show, and the first comment is always Happy National whatever day. Because every day is a national day. Do you know who he is? I don't know. He's
done this before, hasn't he?
He's a friend. I don't know.
He's a friend of the show. He might be subscribed, which if you're not subscribed, what are you guys doing? We're on the road to 500 subscribers over here. I believe right now, Ian, we're at 467. So we are only 33 subscribers away from you potentially having to do a 24-hour stream.
Yeah, we'll move past that topic and go to a different 24-hour stream. We got some big news coming up.
We do have some big news, and it's not 24 hours. It's more of a half marathon, I guess you could say, happening Labor Day weekend. It is going down Saturday, August 30th. We did the 24-hour stream on Memorial Day weekend. We figured, hey, since it's Labor Day weekend, we got wrestling to talk about. We're going live from 9 a.m. Eastern Time, Saturday, August 30th, and we're not stopping until 9 p.m. Eastern Time, a full 12 hours featuring multiple people from the Main Event Wrestling Network. One of those people will be joining the show a little bit later. But Ian, once again, Main Event Moves happening here at the Main Event Wrestling Network.
Yeah, Main Event Moves. The marathon will be happening 2 days before my birthday, so I will be... I'm about 99% sure I will be a part of it. I got a lot of packing to do coming up, so in
Where
2 months,
going?
I'm moving down the street.
That's right. My bad, I forgot.
But yeah, I will be having a different background at some point for the viewers because no one actually cares where I live. It'll just be different back here, so don't ask questions.
It was a quick change, too. You only had that set up for probably a year.
Yeah, I was about to say, I've been here a year, which is fucking insane.
Hey, Zach's still here, by the way. He said, Happy good old burger day.
There can't be more than national. More than two.
I don't know if there's more than 2 national days going on. And Brett said earlier I was going to watch AEW, then I just kept living my life. Okay, that's fair. To each their own, but we're definitely going to talk about AEW tonight. And Dirk Vogus says, I think it's like a Klondike bar, but Dirk Vogus, it's a great name.
Well, anybody named Dirk sounds like a stand-up individual.
What a name, right? Dirk Van Fleet.
Stand-up individual.
I'm surprised that Dirk's here when we're talking AEW. There's no chance he watches, right?
I don't know, but this is a really good opportunity for him to absolutely go off in the comment section and win that MVM at the end of the show.
It's going to be a quieter show.
That would be legendary. No one likes AEW, so if you are in the chat right now and you want to have that MVM title, maybe it's your first opportunity. Go for it, because we ain't going to have that many people here.
Yeah, full disclosure, AEW podcasts do not do well on this channel, but we enjoy all pro wrestling here, similar to everybody else at the Main Event Wrestling Network, which, by the way, if you want to keep up with that 12-hour half marathon stream, just make sure you're following us at mainevent_net on all the socials. We will keep you posted over there, and if you want to see more of us, you'll definitely see us there. And Jay Gold, my better half, or actually not the better half, the worst half of the NXT Night Shift will be joining us a little later because Ian doesn't watch NXT. No. That's it.
Yeah, that's all we got.
That's all I got, guys.
But to be fair, my predictions on NXT cards, you can vouch, are
pretty good.
Kind of insane.
For a guy who does not know ball, he knows ball.
Yeah, it's taking shots in the dark, and apparently I'm fucking pretty good from 3 in the dark.
So we'll see if you could beat the Night Shift.
That would be funny.
Yeah, the one NXT show on the network would lose to Ian, who doesn't even watch it. But Ian, if this is the first time somebody might be checking out the show, what's a good way for the people to support this podcast?
Well, we have none of the merch on at the moment, but you can see the tapestry behind Mr. Kyle Gagliardi's left shoulder, but our right to over there, what he's pointing at. And for the viewers, or for the listeners, sorry, you're not going to be able to see it, but you can get your merchandise and all that expenses. Everything that's profits goes straight back into the podcast, goes back to the network. So anything that is paid, we don't make a personal dollar from it. It goes straight back into the show. We have T-shirts, we have hats, we used to have phone cases, we have apparel.
Coffee mugs, yeah, we got it all.
Got everything. So if you want to rep it, even if it's just a sticker, I've been a basic white bitch and started putting stickers on my water bottles, and I need to get some OTM stickers.
Yeah, I think Tuck's got a handful of OTM and MVM stickers. Yeah, for sure. So if you want to check out all that good stuff, onthemarkwrestlingpodcast.com is where you're going to do so. But Ian, we have not 1, but 2 shows to preview. So I say we get right into it. And we're going to start with what you see in the background right now. AEW Forbidden Door. They're doing this with New Japan, of course. First off, before we get into the actual card, I'm not going to sit here and complain because like you said earlier, I know you were half joking, the card is very strong. Yeah. But I feel like they've also sort of to drift away from what Forbidden Door was at the beginning. I don't know if that makes sense to where they are incorporating now the wrestlers into AEW storylines, and I kind of just like the fantasy booking aspect of Forbidden Door at the start. So I feel like the Forbidden Door concept isn't what it used to be. At least it is for me personally.
I was going to say, actually, this is the one thing I will say that I genuinely kind of oppose you on. I'm like, this feels more like a fantasy book, and this is the first time I've been like, oh, this is cool, because I don't know what the fuck to expect. I've had some expectations or implementations of New Japan, but it has been very limited to the point, you don't have any answers, you don't know who's going to win, and I think people have to understand, too, that Forbidden Doors, like you said, it's a fantasy booking opportunity. It's a way for viewers of New Japan Wrestling to watch AEW, and AEW to watch New Japan. This is one of the first times we've been super critical about how much that other companies get involved in AEW storylines, and it's kind of off-putting because we know it's just going to lead to one pay-per-view.
That's a fair point.
And I felt different about this one. It feels more like this Forbidden Door show, this fun kind of circus act that we're going to put on with other companies. This is a one-off thing, and then we're going to move on because we got other shows moving up. Full Gear's coming around the corner, and a lot of this seems any matches that are AEW. Just wrestling in general.
Yeah, I was just going to say, there's a wrestling PLE, pay-per-view, whatever you want to call it, every fucking weekend.
But
Which
don't
I guess I
worry.
shouldn't be complaining, but I mean, we kind of are at the same time.
Well, if you miss one pay-per-view, I should know this. It's you are left in the dust, and you got to catch back up because there's still a lot going on in wrestling.
And I feel like that's definitely true with AEW because I've told you before, and you know, and you play as well. I play wiffle ball on Wednesdays, so I miss most AEW live during the summer. So that's when I kind of start to fall off, I guess you could say. I'm still a fan. Don't get me wrong. I'm tuning in every week to Dynamite, but I haven't caught a Collision maybe in 2 months. Yeah. So I'm prefacing that before we get into the predictions. There might be some things that I missed, but real life shit gets in the way sometimes, Ian. We can't watch everything.
No, this is life. Wrestling is life.
It would be if I got paid to do it.
That's true. It's a good point.
So go to the OnTheMarkWrestlingPodcast.com and you might be able to change two guys' lives right here. And then Ian can get an even bigger place with a podcast studio. Who knows?
Don't need that. It'll always be in my dining room, by the way.
Hell yeah. Hey, guess what time it is? It's not Tiffy's time. It's Tino's time. What's up, Tino? Thanks for stopping by, my friend. I know Tino will be watching both those shows because Forbidden Door's during the day, right? Since it's in London? It's gotta be.
Yeah, it would have to be. So it's probably going to be an early start.
So that's good. So you could start your day with Forbidden Door, and then you could finish it with NXT Heatwave. So that's exactly how we're going to do it here on this show. So let's go to the first matchup here. And there's a lot going on in this one, Ian. We got Darby Allin teaming up with Kenny Omega, Will Ospreay, Tanahashi, and Kota Ibushi to take on the team of the Death Riders, Matt and Nick Jackson. And that was my best way of trying to be like Justin Roberts. But this is going to be a lights-out steel cage match. I really don't know what that means. I do know that means the steel cage is going to be there, but I don't know what the lights out has to do with everything. Is it unsanctioned?
So I actually really like the way they explained this because
they
it
did
kind
explain
of
it. Okay.
Yeah. So this was Will Ospreay's promo. He came out in, probably kayfabe away, but it was. He talked about how he wasn't medically cleared to announce that he's going to be wrestling in Forbidden Door. So he said, well, I don't want this to be on AEW's hands, for legal purposes kind of thing. And lights out basically means this match never happened. This is just for fun.
So it's there. It's like when WWE says unsanctioned, yeah.
Yeah, yep. Doesn't matter for records, doesn't matter for standings. It's just we need to fight.
Well, that makes, I think, the winner kind of obvious, no? At least it does on my side of things. What are your thoughts? I really haven't been locked into this feud, so I can't really give you any deep analysis on this one. The surface level tells me Death Riders and Matt and Nick Jackson.
Yeah,
that's what
I think that's kind of more where it's going as well. I will say that I'm enjoying this new era of Death Riders along with Matt and Nick. I think all of this has been entertaining. And the Death Riders are starting to get a little bit more funny. Like they're allowing humor to be involved in their characters, which is good.
And their shtick kind of makes more sense without the title, doesn't it? Just causing havoc.
Yep. And it's trying to create fear, it's pretty fun. I think I might differ with you on the prediction. I think I'm just going to go a pure babyface win here. And
that's a big team. Look at those names on that team.
Yeah, it's a crazy-ass team. Death Riders can obviously go and blame Matt and Nick, and they could go have their own little feud. Maybe that's where they go.
Maybe.
Because, I don't know. I think it's going to end up leading to Darby versus Jon Moxley at some point in the near future.
Who's the bald guy that's from New Japan that's in this match? I always forget his name.
Bald guy from New Japan. Ibushi?
No. On the teaming up with the Death Riders. He's on the Death Riders. You know who he is. Gabe Kidd. Isn't it Gabe Kidd? Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not a huge Gabe Kidd guy.
It's kind of like a knockoff Pete Dunne.
Yeah, except it's more like go away heat at this point.
Yeah,
it's like
he's a dick.
He just kind of shows. I mean, credit to him, he's making people hate him. But why are you here still?
Yeah, that's my kind of question. Like, why are you kind of in the Death Riders? Like, just fully commit. We need to have like initiation with Gabe Kidd in the Death Riders because he's kind of in, he's kind of not. I don't know. It's going to be a crazy match. Lights out, steel cage. They're going to use all the weapons, I'm sure. But is there going to be the 2-cage setup? That makes things even more interesting then, because I don't think it could be 2 cages.
I think it's just going to be the 1 cage, but I don't.
But with 10 people?
Yeah, my worry is a lot of the action is going to be outside of the cage, which defeats the purpose of the cage.
Anarchy in the arena, essentially.
Yeah, that's what I'm going into this with. I'm not taking this match seriously by any stipulation wise, which is good because it's a lights out match. It shouldn't have any stipulations to it. like you said, yeah, this is going to be fun, and it's going to be batshit insane.
That's the best way of putting it. The more I think about it too, and like Ospreay getting those promos on Dynamite the last couple weeks, it would make more sense for him to continue that momentum, especially with this being in London.
Returning Derby, you got Kenny Omega, you have literally the president of New Japan as well.
You know what? There's no stakes on this match. I'm flipping. I'm pulling a Marini. Oh, that's a name we haven't heard in a while. I'm going with Darby, Omega, Ospreay, Tanahashi, and Ibushi to pick up the victory here. But yeah, like you said, should be a good one. This next one, I don't know anything about Kyle Fletcher's opponent here, but I do know he's the IWGP Junior Heavyweight Champion. It's Hiromu Takahashi taking on Kyle Fletcher, and I believe this is for the TNT title, if I'm not mistaken, Ian. I don't think you know anything about Takahashi either, so it's kind of just Kyle Fletcher to retain here, huh?
Yeah, and the premise behind this match is basically New Japan, send your best guy. I want to be on the Forbidden Door card and send your best guy, and apparently this is their best guy at the moment. I've never seen him before. I think I've seen his name before. I've never seen his face. He's not like an old fart 45, 50-year-old, so that's
He's 35. Good. I just looked it up, yeah.
Nice. Okay, so we're moving down. It's not just going to be a Tanahashi every single time, so that's good.
Yeah, no disrespect to the ace, but man, that dude's walking like he's got a steel pipe shoved up his rear end.
I'm glad they finally did announce that next year we'll have his final match.
Good.
So good.
Stop making him wrestle.
I know. I feel bad because I get it. Namesake, it could carry you for a while, but there's a difference between a Sting and Tanahashi.
Dude, and it's like crazy because like Sting was doing that at such a late age, and I feel like right when he got off TV, he just started to look old.
Well, he grew out that goatee. Have you seen that goatee?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I saw him at WrestleCon, dude. Yeah. He just looked old. But then again, you're on TV, you're wearing makeup, you're darkening your beard and your hair probably. So he's just like, hey, I'm Sting. I can do whatever the fuck I want.
Love that man. He deserves the world.
So you're going with Takahashi in this one then?
No. I'm gonna go with Fletcher because I think the way they're laying it out, I think this could be a pretty good match, and I think that's obviously what they're aiming for, just with Fletcher, to reestablish and really try to reboot this TNT Championship. What Dustin did with it was good, but that again, you're not going to go out of your way to watch his matches on Collision, which I've heard Collision has been fantastic for the past few months.
Him and awesome. Dustin had a really good match when Kyle won that title.
Yep, absolutely. So I think this is just to reboot it, let Kyle Fletcher kind of learn how to be a champion, which is awesome because obviously we know Kyle Fletcher's destined for more than the TNT title. So, this will be an entertaining match nonetheless. Hopefully it's some good wrestling because I don't know shit about Takahashi.
Yeah, and that's kind of what Forbidden Door just should be. It's just a good wrestling pay-per-view. Yeah. You're probably going to get a lot of predictable results, but sometimes predictability is the right choice. We say that all the time with WWE. Even though it might not be the exciting move, sometimes you got to go with the safe bet. And here, Kyle Fletcher just got that title. Let's establish him some more. Getting a win against Takahashi is probably going to be another great resume builder. And Ian, I don't think it's crazy to say that we could probably see Kyle Fletcher in the main event title scene next year.
Oh, absolutely. I think he's destined for it. As long as he has his TNT title, though, maybe that title moves its way to Dynamite eventually.
Ooh.
Who knows? Okay. I would like to see that, but I think they're more... Obviously, I think they're pretty headstrong on, like the Adam Cole situation with the title. Let's keep it on Collision, make that a Collision title, which... Okay, if you're going to do that, you need to make sure you tell people we're having a brand split. This title is for this show. This title is for that show. I think if they said that, then I don't know. I think the titles would be in a better situation.
And it's interesting you bring up that point because a lot of people have gripe with the WWE, how everything is split by brands, and then they do the weird crossovers, and then they try to explain it. But sometimes just knowing where the superstars are going to be helps. If you're really interested in Kyle Fletcher, you love the Protostar, you love everything about this new presentation, you're going to find a way to watch Collision. But like you said, it would be nice if AEW just flat out said, this title is assigned to this brand and so forth. It just logical.
And it makes sense, too, because the TNT title, Collision's on TNT, so the TNT title should be there.
Of course.
But as we know, we see the TNT title. We used to see it on TBS all the time, so that really doesn't matter.
It does not matter. And they're all in the same company, too. They're the Warner. Oh, I forgot. Time Warner. Yeah, that's the same brand that has TBS, TNT, and all those channels. True TV, I think, is also a part of that because that's how I watch all my March Madness. You know how they always air the games on those channels during March Madness. But we're both going with Kyle Fletcher to retain his TNT title. This next one is another obvious prediction. This one is for the TBS title. Mercedes Moné taking on Alex Windsor.
Windsor!
Persephone?
Persephone.
Persephone. There we go. I'm
on
very white, guys. Very white, and Bozila. So, don't know anything about the last two. I will say this about Alex Windsor. Man, AEW is really trying to shove her down your throat, aren't they?
Yeah. And the sad thing is like she's a good wrestler. Like she
solid.
can go. She needs a character besides just yelling Windsor.
Windsor.
It's funny, I get it, but like, come on, guys. Yeah, they're really pushing this Alex Windsor thing, and it's really hurting her because I think she's got a lot of potential in her. They talked about how she was not really scouted that much while she was over in the UK doing her thing on the Indies.
She's Ospreay's girlfriend, right? Or
girlfriend,
wife?
Correct? Yeah. I don't know. One
Either
of the two.
or. Yeah.
But she's got the talent, in-ring talent at least. Yeah. She's good for AEW. It's just we need a character here, and I like the pairing with Toni Storm because no one's gonna boo Toni Storm.
True.
At all. So
Dude,
I let her develop, I guess.
You brought up Toni. I know we're gonna get to her match later, but I've been seeing some people saying that they're getting tired of the timeless Toni Storm gimmick. I don't know how that's possible.
Yeah.
Do you just hate fun?
Well, yes.
Actually, a lot of people on X especially hate fun in the wrestling community. That's for sure.
It's crazy. Like, I mean, she could, like we said in the past, like she could go out there, take a shit in the ring, and everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, fuck yeah, that was awesome. This is worth the ticket." She's entertaining, and that's all you really need to hold that title for a while, especially in this division. And I wish the women's division, like the rest of the women's division, would learn that character could drive you a long ass way.
Dude, that's what we've been saying from the very beginning with this podcast, especially with AEW, because they use the slogan, "We're the best wrestle." Sure, that might be true. Like we always said, if you want strong in-ring professional wrestling, more of a showcase, you're going to get that in AEW. But if you want the Disney, the characters, the spectacle, that's what WWE is. And that's why I like Toni Storm, because we know who Toni is. You know who Mercedes Moné is. All these big stars in the women's division have an identity. But then you start looking at the Alex Windsors, the Deonna Purrazzos, the Red Velvets. Like, there's got to be more to these people. And that's why I think Toni Storm has held the championship as many times as she has, Ian.
Yep, absolutely. And then I know we hate saying his name. We'll move past this, but
yeah,
I know we hate saying his name, but Chris Jericho is a perfect representation of, I know, but being entertaining to the point of it doesn't matter how good you are in the ring. Like, if you can get a reaction out of that crowd, you're going to do something for the roster. And I wish the rest of the people on the roster would understand that. Like, I get it. Yes, absolutely. Professional wrestling is awesome. I love to see really good in-ring wrestling. That's why I lean a little towards AEW. Actually, no. I lean all the way towards AEW. Fuck WWE. Woo! But, no.
I would be mad, but there's only going to be 30 people that watch this episode.
Yeah, I have no sarcasm either. I mean everything I say.
No, I think everybody knows by now. Like, if you've been tuning into this podcast, I definitely lean WWE and Ian leans AEW. But we still are in the middle of the Venn diagram. Like, we're hanging out in the middle. We watch both shows. We enjoy it, and we talk about it.
Yeah.
Speaking of Jericho, let's get into that. Let's go a little sidebar here, because I don't know if you're seeing the chatter. Jericho's contract is coming up with AEW, and a lot of people seem to be interested in him making a return to the WWE. Is that something that would interest you?
I think Jericho's at the stage now. I think if AEW is smart, they'd keep Jericho around just for the coaching aspect and tell Jericho, hey, this new contract is not a talent contract. This is a coaching contract.
Advisor, yeah.
And if that means letting him do a 1-year send-off retirement tour, okay, that's fine. The knowledge that dude has got to be used. And
what about an on-screen general manager role?
I wouldn't hate that either. I think that would be
AEW needs that, honestly. They've never dipped their toes into that. Yeah.
Stokely has been fantastic. He's giving new breath to the FTR team right now, and
that was one of your critiques too with FTR. They needed something new.
Yeah, and I think Stokely is that perfect breath of fresh air. It's humorous, but also he's a dick.
Yeah. You want to answer this question for Brett? I think he's just genuine. I think he's just genuinely curious. Why do you lean more?
No. I know it's a genuine question. It's just how much time do we have? I will give you a brief
podcast.
Synopsis.
Go for it. I don't give a fuck how long we go. This is our show.
All right, so we'll send it back to when I first started. We're not gonna actually go huge history here, but when I first started, it was WWE, obviously, and this was 2017 when wrestling was at a fucking low point, and it was very hard to watch, but. Also, Jim Tucker, our co-host that is not here tonight, but got me into watching wrestling, and I started watching every single week quietly because it was to the point of like, oh god, I don't want anybody knowing I'm watching this talent right now.
You were at that age where you didn't want people to know publicly that you were a fan of professional wrestling. We've all been there.
No, I mean, and also like what was on the television screen was pretty brutal in those WWE times. So
true.
I tried to stay away from it. And then I started getting into BTE because I was like, oh, man, these wrestling guys are actually really cool dudes. And then that led to the announcement of, the whole creation of AEW. And I loved that because I was like, man, this
fresh start for you.
This needs something like good. And I'm a huge I want to support whatever it is that's like like the underdog thing. And AEW was the underdog at the time. Still are, obviously. But yeah, I watched ever since. And it's not even necessarily like a tribalism thing. It's just more like
it resonates more with you.
Yeah, and also I learned to watch wrestling through AEW mostly, so it was like a lot of really good wrestling, and like, man, I love this shit. Also, commercial breaks. WWE commercial breaks are a fucking travesty. I say that with my fucking chest out because it is 5 minutes of just backstage promo,
right?
Commercial. Oh my! Luckily, Netflix has changed it so that when you watch back Raw, they get rid of all the commercials. You
can just go right through,
which is great. It's awesome. But when you're watching live, it is.
You better get used to all the other streaming services you're gonna have to have.
I know.
How about that? ESPN makes a deal and they say, "All right, 2026. Nope, fuck that. We're going to Indianapolis. We're doing WrestlePalooza. Here we go." And I bought the tickets. I bid.
Oh yeah.
That's why I'm wearing this shirt because I'll be back. Yeah, they got me. You bring it, but the reasoning they're bringing it to Indy is because what we've been saying this for years, Ian. Indy is the perfect host city for big sporting events.
Oh yeah,
it has everything.
Yep, and we just had the Live tournament come through, the golf tournament. That was fucking massive. That was last weekend, all throughout the weekend, and that was about 20 minutes down the road, and it was.
I saw you last week. We didn't even mention that. We met up and we went to Ale Emporium, which, those wings are so good. And Brett, who's in the chat with us, it was us three.
Yeah, it was a good time.
We're basically doing the podcast right now, but we do have to speed things up a little bit because I forgot Jay Gold's going to be joining us for NXT here in a little bit. So a couple more matches here from Forbidden Door. I'm actually looking forward to this one. We got the Hurt Syndicate looking to defend their tag titles against FTR and Brodito. That, of course, is Brody King and Bandito, who are one of the hottest tag teams, arguably in professional wrestling right now. They got a lot of steam behind them, Ian. Do you think that's enough, though, to take down the Hurt Syndicate in this match?
No, I think there's more story to tell between FTR and Brodito. Or vice versa. It could be Hurt Syndicate and one of the two teams. I think Brodito still... It's got their legs on the ground. The versatility of, Brody King's big boy, that mixed with Bandito's quickness, and he's extremely entertaining as well, and he's been putting out some really good matches. So
ROH champion still.
Yeah, and I kind of wish that wasn't the case because it's like, man, it's still an ROH title. Yeah, I get it. He's been fantastic with that title, but if you're going to keep him on AEW pretty much mainstream with Brody King,
get him out.
Don't need the title. Yeah. I don't know. I just don't see anybody beating the Hurt Syndicate right now. I'm just so confused over... We haven't seen MJF and the Hurt Syndicate, really, other than like what we saw of, you're out. And then there was no follow-up. So I am confused about that. I wish there was some follow-up. I think there will be after this pay-per-view, but...
So this match and the MJF match are connecting for me. I have a little fantasy booking going on here. The Hurt Syndicate are going to lose the tag team titles at Forbidden Door. And the reason is FTR is going to get those titles back, and we will see FTR versus Edge and Christian for the tag titles at All Out. That's where I see this going, and that's why I think it became a triple threat, because FTR can just pin Brodito and the Hurt Syndicate have an out. Now, I will go back to MJF later when we talk about the main event, and we know he's still got the contract looming too for that match. There's just a lot of interesting variables here with the Hurt Syndicate, and I think it starts to spiral here in this match. So I'm going to go with new tag team champions in FTR.
I don't hate that.
Makes sense, right?
I'm going to go with the safe pick and stick with Hurt Syndicate.
It is safe.
I don't hate that at all because like I said earlier, I was like, man, FTR is starting to finally get their feet under them. And
being featured a lot too.
They're liking the Stokely edition. It makes sense. My only issue with the ending specifically, it's like, well, I think Brodito's got to go back for the titles at that point. I don't know. I mean, you got pinned after a tournament, but I don't know. I think that might be.
That's for them to figure out, right?
Yeah, that's overthinking it at that point.
Sure.
I think Brodito can bounce back by themselves, just being on television. So, I enjoy that prediction by you.
Hell yeah. I'm going with FTR. Ian's going with the Hurt Syndicate. Let's move on. Unified Championship on the line. Kazuchika Okada taking on Swerve Strickland. On paper, you could make a case this is the match of the night. There is plenty of other great matches that's obviously happening, but I think it's a little too soon for Swerve to take that off of Okada. I know they just unified the titles, so that means Okada's technically been Continental Champion now, I think, for almost a year. So I guess they could pull the trigger. Now I'm starting to second guess my pick here. I really don't know, and I think that's the beauty of it all, Ian, is that we have two guys at the top of their game going at it, and I don't care who wins. Actually, I do care. I want Swerve to win, but I'm picking Okada. That's my official prediction. Going with Okada via shenanigans sets up a rematch, and then Swerve can win it back maybe later.
I think you are on the right path, because I'm going to go Okada to retain as well, which is a boring pick, but again, hasn't been too much story to tell other than kind of like egos kind of clashing at this point. That's been the story, really. Like you said, he just became Unified Champion. He won the Continental Championship back in the Continental Classic this past December. Hasn't been a year yet. It's getting there. I just don't see a reason for Swerve to win this championship other than to put gold around Swerve's waist again. Swerve is fantastic at the character development. He's done that fantastically over the past 2 years. Once he started realizing, once you create that emotional attachment, you could go up to any height, really. So, and Okada, there's not a lot of good promo work that could back him up. So it's hard to dig himself out of the hole. Yeah, that's it. Which is, again, still entertaining. It is very funny, but yeah, I keep Okada with the title.
Yeah, I think Swerve's one of those guys, too, that doesn't really need a title.
No.
To be relevant. He's always going to be the face of AEW, so we're both going with Okada to retain. Let's move on. I don't know much about this situation or how it even got started. I don't know if you have a refresher for me or know any backstory about this, but Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be putting his IWGP Heavyweight title on the line against Nigel McGuinness, which this is breaking news to me. I just found out Nigel's wrestling at Forbidden Door, which is cool because we know how technical these two styles are, Ian.
Yeah. This match, arguably, I know Nigel McGuinness is a little bit out of his prime, but, I mean, on paper, this could be the best technical match in
It's a dream matchup.
Time.
It's a dream matchup.
Well, it's funny you say that. So this matchup came just from a fantasy booking perspective. Like, it was just, here it is. This is going to happen at the card, which, again, you said that.
That's what it should be.
That's what this card is all about. Mm-hmm. And both have gone on record saying that this is a dream match of both of theirs.
Fuck
which
yeah.
Is cool.
They're going to get after it then.
Yeah, this is going to be really fun. Daniel Garcia will be in McGuinness's corner.
Interesting.
So there could be some play into that.
Turning.
I know there has been some beef that has been laid out for a long time between those two. So and I think Daniel Garcia could benefit from a heel turn. So I'm going to go Zack Sabre Jr. to retain. I mean, the heavyweight championship is a big deal over there in New Japan. Unless they're going to send Nigel McGuinness overseas for however long, maybe a month.
They need him on commentary.
Yeah, Dude, Nigel McGuinness is fantastic on commentary. So, yeah, get this dream match out of the way. Let Zack Sabre retain. Have a fun match. Again, he said dream match of him.
Yeah, copy and paste everything that Ian said. I'm going with it. Zack Sabre Jr. to retain. These two are big ones, Ian. We got the AEW Women's World Title on the line here. We're going to talk about first as Toni Storm is taking on the ROH Women's Champion, Athena. This is a difficult one to predict just because, I mean, Athena's been on a roll as of late. I don't know how many days she's held that ROH title, but she's doing fantastic stuff. And I believe she's already had a match with Toni Storm, if I'm not mistaken, and lost. I could be wrong there. Maybe I'm just thinking of shit. Chat, correct me if I'm wrong.
I think you might be thinking of Athena and Mercedes have.
That's what I'm thinking of. You're right. I'm thinking of Athena and Mercedes. So these two haven't crossed paths yet, which makes my pick even easier then. I'm going to go with Toni this time, but something tells me eventually Athena could be the one to take that AEW Women's title off of Toni Storm. And maybe we have to have Athena turn on Billie Starkz first for that to happen. I don't know. But, I just don't see them taking the title off of Toni Storm at Forbidden Door, and it's not one of their big pay-per-views, I guess you would say.
I'm, again, in agreement with you. I don't think you could take that championship off Toni yet because it's not necessarily needed, but we've been saying that for the past 2 years. So
Sure.
I think where my head goes to is what else is there for Athena, and I think the money is on Money.
Yeah, going back to the well.
So not even Mercedes title. I think it's going to be for Athena's title. What they're putting on paper is saying Athena's about to hit 1,000. Yeah, Athena's about to hit 1,000 days as champion. You have the belt collector who has 8 titles right now, which is fucking insane.
It's just stupid, I think.
Well, yeah, it's getting to the point where it's funny,
yeah, and not in a good way.
Yeah, and I think just on paper, the Streak versus the belt collector is such a cool this is a headliner. That's a headliner kind of match you could have. Like you said, Athena's in arguably the best shape of her life right now.
She's a top 10 women's wrestler on the planet right now.
I would honestly say top 5, but I don't know. That might be
that could be an episode in itself.
Yeah, that could be.
I think the women's. We talked about this too. I think the women's wrestling as a whole right now is better than men's wrestling. If we're going to,
I would agree. Overall, I would agree.
The whole body of work from top to bottom, the women in both companies are outshining the men, and this match could outshine every other match on the card. Who knows?
Absolutely.
But timeless Toni Storm to retain for us too, which takes us to the big main event. These are two staples of AEW. They've been there from the very beginning. The champ, Hangman Page, my boy, my ace in AEW, taking on the bastard MJF. What?
Do you want to... You forgot about one match. I don't know if this was your last match on the card.
It was. I didn't see the other match.
Kind of a big match. Adam Copeland and Christian Cage versus Kip Sabian and Killswitch.
Luchasaurus. Win. Copeland.
Yeah,
because I have them facing FTR for the titles at All Out. That's
that is true.
But you can go with Luchasaurus. I know we both popped for Luchasaurus. We talked about it last night.
I loved it. The fact, by the way, shout out to him. All the reports were saying this is life-critical condition that he was in at one point, and he's obviously recovered and still looks fantastic. So, Luchasaurus is a fucking dog, and he's a day one guy. So it's really cool to see. No, I don't think it's gonna be It was not a. Oh, obviously they're going to win. It was more of a. Oh shit.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, you thought about it, but it was a cool moment. Edge and Cope and Christian reuniting, and I do like how Christian's still the same character.
Yeah,
he's not changing. It makes sense. But back to this one, a lot to digest here. I believe they put some stipulations on it as well, to where MJF can win the title via a count out. I think there were some other stipulations too. Do you have it in front of you?
Yeah, title can change hands via countout or disqualification. Also,
he still has the contract.
That contract is not going away. So,
do you want me to do my fantasy booking to get it out of the way?
Yeah, please.
I think MJF loses, and then I think he utilizes the contract right after, and he loses again. He loses twice to Hangman Page. But the Hurt Syndicate are out there trying to help MJF in that second one when he cashes in, but they ultimately end up costing MJF that opportunity. That's how we get the split of the Hurt Syndicate, and then we go from there. That's MJF's feud. That's where he can venture off into for the next couple months, feuding with the Hurt Syndicate. That's how I see it shaking out. It might be far out of left field for some people. I just had to think of a reasonable way for Hangman Page to win.
That's fair. I like all of your booking decision until you had him losing the second time.
Fair enough.
Here, I'm going to do a college paper steal real quick and go everything you just said.
But edit the last part.
But have MJF win the title with the Hurt Syndicate and prosper with that title. And then...
Taking off Hangman that quick?
Hey, it's MJF, man. You don't need to have titles have super long reigns. You had your big moment with Hangman beating Moxley. I mean,
True.
Not much else you could do with Hangman just saying, I fucking love AEW with the title. I mean, there's... I'm always a huge fan of heels having the titles. I think you could only have a babyface have the title for so long.
That's true. We always talk about it. Babyface on the chase is where the money's at.
Also, we've had a lot of predictions of title retains.
You're right. I'm still thinking. I don't want Hangman to lose, man. I love that man so much. I think I think he's great.
He's gonna die out there.
You're probably right. I mean, they're intentionally teasing the contract situation.
Honestly, I think the vast majority. I didn't even think about that. Like, genuinely. So I think the vast majority of people are
thinking about the contract.
No, well, I mean, they're thinking about the contract, but they're not thinking about, oh fuck, I just lost. Cash it in right now. I think that'll get some people shocked.
Yeah, I mean, just go. I mean, maybe MJF beats up Hangman Page. Oh, there it is. The Hurt Syndicate beat up Hangman Page after Page beats MJF the first time.
Walking up the ramp with the title.
Yeah, then he cashes in the contract and wins the title.
I would like that a lot.
That's
have like the graphic pop up at the bottom saying this was an AEW production, and then boom, beat his ass. I would love that.
On paper, I'm going with Hangman Page, but I think that's going to happen.
I think I'm going to go with MJF then in that case. Again, I stole
all
of your work.
On the second match, though, right, to specify.
Yeah, so technically he loses this match.
Yeah, so we're picking Hangman, and then we're picking MJF for the official Forbidden Door picks. So there you go. We went up and down the card. Nobody was really hanging out with us, but maybe somebody later on was hanging out and watching us and enjoyed it, which, by the way, if you're watching on YouTube, leave a comment, because we go back and we watch and we read the comments, we comment back, we interact with you guys. So hit that subscribe button. We are 33 subscribers away from reaching 500, and we are going to be doing that hopefully soon. And I'll tell you what, we're going to definitely hit 200 subscribers over on the main event when we do the half marathon stream, because I think we're only 35 away from there. And when we did our 24-hour stream, we gained like 40 subscribers. So it's very possible over there as well.
It is. And shout out to my Spotify, or the Spotify listeners out there, because I am a fellow Spotify enjoyer. If you have a YouTube account, which you probably should at this point in your life.
Everybody does.
Yeah. Head on over to YouTube and give us a follow. Give us a subscribe.
Yeah, wait, hold on. I was supposed to hit the graphic while I was doing it. See, I always forget that we have all this stuff like this. Watch this. Like and subscribe.
Oh, wait, hold on. Hold on. We're professional. Do it again.
Okay, hold on. Go.
hit the bell. That's what all the YouTubers, the wrestling YouTubers, do that every. By the way, yeah,
they do.
Yeah, it's the ding.
Yeah,
hit that bell.
Do that already, please. So let's introduce our special guest. He's coming in. He's one half of the NXT Night Shift, 1/3 of the Indie Wrestling Guide on the Main Event Wrestling Network. It's my worst half. It's Jay Gold. Hey, buddy.
What time is it? Where am I? What is this? What show is this?
You're used to recording later, actually.
I don't even know what day it is. Where am I?
This is Thursday. We're talking WWE and NXT specifically, Jay Gold.
Let's go. That's right.
How you doing, bud?
Oh, fantastic! I just came. I was just at my neighbor's house drinking bourbon, and then
Oh,
I was like, I gotta run. So I was like running through the dark to get home, so I could jump on.
See, Brett's all fired up that Jay Gold's here. He said game time. He's ready to talk Heatwave.
Hey, Brett.
Ian doesn't watch Heatwave whatsoever, so this should be pretty interesting.
Ian,
but,
can I say I'm just a little disappointed in you that you don't watch NXT? What the hell?
I have such limited time in my life, and I don't want. Here's my thing: I don't want to keep watching wrestling to the point of like, oh God, I'm so burnt out. I don't want to watch another day of wrestling. That's kind of my issue. So NXT, I have devoted to. Don't need to watch it. I could keep.
You watch PLEs though, don't you? NXT PLEs sometimes.
If it's a weekend full of wrestling PLEs and I have time midday, I'm like, I'll throw it on, I guess, while I'm cleaning the house.
Well, what's nice is my kid's upstairs right now watching AEW from last night, and she was like, "Oh, I thought you were going to watch with me." I'm like, "Give me a little bit of time. I'll come up and get it." She's just digging it. She likes AEW. She likes WWE better though, but she can do AEW. I don't mind it. I think it's fun. Last night was
teach
crazy.
her to be a tribalist.
I can't do that. I
She's
like
too
wrestling
nice
too
to
much.
be a tribalist.
Yeah, and I like wrestling too much too. Like I can watch all of it. I have no issues with. I like making fun of wrestling fans in general.
Oh,
that are
yeah,
not me.
absolutely.
Yeah, they're dumb.
He's very good at doing that on the night shift, by the way. we do not hold back. I know, Ian, you definitely have tuned into a couple of those shows.
Yeah.
It's much more unfiltered gags over there.
It's great.
Yeah, it's late
I do
night
like
gags.
it. Yeah, it's great.
Late night gags, vitamin gags. That's all different. But
Vitamin.
I had my vitamins about 15 minutes ago, so talk to me
so
in about
we better
45.
get this over.
We got to rush through it. It's before the 45-minute mark hits.
Into
So
the Hulk. Yeah.
I know Jay Gold's excited to start with this match here, so I'm going to let him go first. Jordynne Grace versus Blake Monroe. We talked on the night shift about the segment. It wasn't great. Basically, Ian, to catch you up on this feud, Blake Monroe is just saying that Jordynne Grace is ugly, she's not a superstar, and we're just using looks as the feud.
And she showed a picture of her when she was heavier Jordynne Grace.
I did see that. I did see that portion.
Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Actually, here, I have something for that segment. Hold on.
Oh, let's hear it.
What was that? Huh? What was that?
Oh my
Thank
God!
you.
Yeah, friendly fire.
We got everything over here, Jay Gold.
Yes,
Dude.
What the hell? Where do we?
Hey,
get
this is why we're the A show at the Main Event Wrestling Network, brother.
it? I feel it. I do feel it.
The flagship.
Yeah, I didn't like at all. And I'm not a guy. I don't care about I'm not gonna like parade around a fat shaming flag or anything. But it's so stupid. It's really stupid. Like I don't need it. Jordynne Grace should be the juggernaut, and Blake Monroe is like the sexy assassin, and that's it. And you have the two of them beat each other up, and you have a built-in feud. You didn't need the what did they call it? Glamour, some kind of. Remember when they were together?
Yeah, I don't know, but they were calling her a muscle muffin.
Yeah, they didn't need any of that. You didn't need like the little segments. If you want to show off Jordynne's like personality, you got to do it more of like she's the Scott Steiner of the women's division. She comes out and beats you up.
Oh, I like that.
And, yeah, that's how they promoted her at the Royal Rumble at like before she signed her contract. And it's like they gave her a contract and they're like, okay, we're gonna ruin the rest. You're done. Like, but you know what? That seems very eerily similar of Vince McMahon days, where you would sign from either WCW or from another company, and then Vince would tear you down to size before there was anything you could get like your feet in the door. So I'm thinking Blake has to win just because you can't bring in the big name and then have her lose. And I think Jordynne Grace is on the backside of the Shawn Michaels, which I thought originally she was part of his four horsewomen, Zarya, Jordynne Grace, Julia, and Stephanie Placaire. And now it's blatantly obvious that it's Sol Ruca and Zarya and, you know, she Blake Monroe, and there's one other. But she doesn't – Jordynne Grace has kind of fallen out of favor.
I think she's headed to the main roster soon, to be honest with you.
I don't know what you're going to do with her there either. Just like I said, I don't know what you would do with Obafemi. I don't know what you're going to do with anybody. There's no room in the title scenes on either show.
We can't even get Carmelo Hayes on TV, so what are we expecting out of these guys, on TV?
Yeah. So
It's kind of crazy now that you say that. Like, I didn't know that this is going on with Jordynne Grace. I still know Jordynne Grace as fucking Jordynne Grace. Like,
the juggernaut. Yep.
Imagine if this was the V-Man's era of you're not allowed to really do anything on social media. Jordynne Grace is like, if you see her on social media, it's like, oh, she's in a really good spot right now. Yeah. Imagine if she was not able to do any of that right now, and it was just based off of what you see on
what
TV.
you see on TV. Nobody would be into her.
Shit. Yeah.
But I mean, we listen to the crowd every segment. When her music hits, there's just no reaction.
And they changed her music, and that's
another problem.
Death kiss.
Yeah.
Every time that's the death kiss. That's it.
Death Rebel.
It's kissing, Fredo on the cheeks and saying, "I know you, but I know it was you." That's it. They kissed Jordan Grace on the forehead, and they were like, "Go with God," and that's it. Death Rebeled her, and that's the end. So
she got hashtag Death Rebel, but I'm going with Blake Monroe as well. Ian, so full disclosure, Jay Gold. Ian, as you know, doesn't watch the show, but is a great predictor with NXT cards. One of the best.
Give it to me.
Ian, what we got here?
Well, so here's the thing. With this one, I have no idea. I haven't looked anything at this card whatsoever, even before, like 2 minutes before the show.
Or the show.
Yeah, but anytime you say a match, I'm going to be like, oh, hell yeah, that's a cool match. This is one of those matches I'm like, sweet, on paper, this sounds like a good match. Doesn't seem like it's been a great build.
No.
Which is tough. This is a really tough one.
I do want to preface it, even though we're shitting on the build, this match could be good still.
I'll give it a chance. It's not like I'm going to turn it off, but we
watch everything.
What do you got?
Yeah, Ian, what's the pick?
Mystic Mac is predicting Blake Monroe.
Yeah, there we go. Clean sweep. The glamour. Blake Monroe defeating Jordan Grace. And
I like
that. We have a number one contenders match to talk about next. Miss Parker, Jada Parker, taking on Cholula Green, Lola Vice, and Kalani Jordan. Ian, you know a little bit about all these women, I believe. This is for number one contendership of the NXT title. So the NXT Women's Champion right now is JC Jane, just to help you out here.
I appreciate that because I didn't know that.
There you go. Yeah. So I'll let you go first since you don't know much about it.
I think I actually have like my feet under the ground on this one.
Oh, here we go.
Start with Lola Vice, Cholula Green. She's still green. let's be honest. I don't think she should be sniffing a title unless it's for her to lose. So if you get her in that title scene, no one's gonna actually believe it.
She was just on Triple Mania.
Okay, so we're fucking whatever that faction is it LWO?
Yeah, LWO. Yeah.
Yeah, they're on that too. They don't mean shit. Wow. That's AAA is where you die in WWE at this point.
No.
So Lola Vice.
That's where Dominic's thriving right now.
Yes.
Well, he's got a title, so it makes sense. He's got a title. Kalani Jordan, another girl that is absolutely fantastic, super young, gonna be in NXT for a while.
NXT Women's Star of the Year last year on our show.
That is true. She could come back around to that title at some point. That leaves me with Jada Parker, who they have been absolutely pushing to the moon. And I fucking love Jada Parker's character. I like what she's doing. It's GTA style, literally.
Yeah.
Her like Titantron looks like
generic
GTA.
music too. Yeah,
Pretty
but it has
sick.
a good beat. Yeah.
Yeah, I was gonna say, that's all you need in music nowadays. You don't really actually need to do anything with it. Jada Parker to the moon. She's gonna win the title too.
Oh man, you might be right. It's hard to say no to Jada Parker because she has everything going for her right now.
I could see she's one of those girls too that I could see like doing something on the main roster because it's a different character. It's not the same character you see. Badass. She backs it up in the ring too. Like she's not bad. She's pretty damn good in the ring. So
yeah, she would be just another strong black woman on SmackDown too because she's just had a baby, but Naomi's doing great things. Though. Jade Cargill. Yeah, but I mean like it's a thing now. It wasn't really a thing, with VKM. Now we're starting to see these women able to show their full personalities, which is great. But Jay Gold, we kind of talked about it a little bit. I was kind of torn on this one, but I think I'm going to go with Lola Vice just because she's been featured on television a lot more recently than the rest of the women. But I do like Ian's pick of Jada Parker. That would be my second option.
And that's why I won't pick Jada Parker. That's why Lola Vice. Not because of Ian, but because of how they've presented. I don't know if they're ready to pull the trigger on her, but I do know they have trusted Lola Vice to be in AAA, to be all over the place. I think Lola Vice is the girl, and I think Kalani Jordan eats the pin.
Yeah. And Kalani Jordan, where does she go in NXT now? Because
nowhere.
She's got to change
is
something.
Crazy.
Nowhere. She has no place to go. There's no room. She has no place to go.
Didn't they turn her heel for whatever fucking reason?
So, Ian, it really wasn't a full heel turn. I thought it was, but they kind of just slowly started to fade her back into face territory. It was weird.
Yeah, they couldn't pull the trigger 100%.
Yeah.
They just couldn't go through with it. So they
haven't committed on a new gimmick with her. Should still come out and clap Kalani Jordan.
Yeah, I was gonna say, what's her gimmick? I don't know what it is.
Gymnast.
Okay, I was gonna say, like, she, from an outside perspective that doesn't watch NXT, it's like I'll see her face and I'm like, oh, she's
awesome.
She's a lovable baby face. She is in the Willow category for me. Like, I can never see her being a heel.
No, there's no sense in it either. She just looks too much like a face. You can't do it. But Jada Parker and Lola Vice go both ways.
Yeah. Oh, do you think Lola would beat JC Jane, or do you think that's just another win for JC?
Nobody's beating JC Jane on that out of any three of those women, by the way.
Jada Parker,
it doesn't matter who wins. Nobody is beating her. It's going to be somebody else.
Well, the NXT title's not on the line at Heatwave.
No, but I'm saying it doesn't matter who wins the number one contenders match. None of them will beat JC Jane. It doesn't matter. This is just another feud, and that title is not leaving her until at least the middle of the winter. So.
Yeah, they got to give JC a decent run at this point.
They don't, and that's the thing about WWE under Triple H and Shawn Michaels. The belts are not hot potatoed, so you don't have to worry that someone is going to get on and then lose it out of nowhere. So I think it doesn't matter who wins this match anyway, because they're not going to beat JC Jane. Yeah.
Does she still have the TNA title?
Yeah. So we'll talk about it later. She has a TNA Knockouts title match on this card.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Right.
Dude, I've been loving the NXT and TNA relationship. I know my partner over here is indifferent on it. My partner below me.
I don't get it, but
I think it's
fine.
Great.
Yeah, it's fine.
It's creating these fun matches that we're getting here. But speaking of fun, we've spoken many praises of Ethan Page and Chelsea Green. Yeah. You're like, Ian's like, what the hell? How did this happen? So Ethan Page and Chelsea Green and the Secret Hervis are like this Canadian empire.
They're the best. They're the greatest. It's one of the greatest conglomerates NXT has put out.
You would love it.
Years. And you know what? It would work on every show. It works on every roster. It works in every company. And it will work on every show. They are perfect together. That
Ian,
Facebook thing I sent you, Kyle, was so funny.
Yeah.
When Chelsea is singing, what's her name, and Ethan Page is Celine Dion. That's so good. They're so good. They're so smart. They go, who cares if we win or lose? It's fake anyway. We're getting paid. We're gonna do every gimmick.
Yeah, I saw that.
There you go. I'm not gonna play the audio because I don't want to get copyrighted, but. I mean, they're just always on social media. They're interacting with the fans. They make you laugh. They can be serious. They can hold titles. They literally can do it all. So now you have this just Canadian group going against these Olympians, Ian. This is basic pro wrestling 101 in this match.
Get it? They have medals, Ian. Medals.
Yeah, real wrestling, Ian.
We're going to wake you up in the middle of the night with a medal on your face so that you know that Tyra May Steele
just dragging it on you.
Oh my God.
That's it. They're going to teabag you with her medals, and that's it.
That was my biggest worry about. I'm going to watch LFG for a little bit. I've stopped watching.
Oh yeah, you do know Tyra. Yeah.
So I know Tyra May Steele, and I remember that was the character they were trying to go with. I thought it had some legs to it. I heard she has a gold medal. Dude, that was my biggest thing. I'm like, oh my God, please don't try to go down the Kurt Angle route unless you're actually trying to be a heel. Like,
that's what I tweeted out. The Olympic gimmick just doesn't work today.
It didn't work for Kurt. That's the thing people don't understand. Not at the start.
It kind of chant "You suck," which
that's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
the winning a gold medal with a broken freaking neck worked. That worked.
That worked.
Yeah.
The fact he was an Olympic champion didn't work. It was the fact he broke his neck along.
Yeah, nobody cares about that credibility.
Good point. No, you know what? Good point. You're right.
That's what I'm saying. Is like that medal does not mean shit. And also the fans hated Kurt Angle. When he first came in, no one fucking liked him, and that's why the guys
he turned down ECW, and that was when the dirt sheet started to get kind of like dirt sheety, and they were like, he turned down ECW, didn't like what he saw with the crucifixion gimmick with Sandman, and everyone's like, boo this guy, what a jerk, he doesn't want to be on ECW. Yeah, so I
don't know.
I'm going with Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele because
America.
Right, and it doesn't matter to Chelsea and Ethan Page. They don't care. They don't need the win. It doesn't matter. They need to elevate some of those talents, and Tyra May Steele needs something because she's not Jasper Troy, and I haven't seen her wrestle a match where had any meaning or any kind of length to it. So she's got to get something under her belt, and Chelsea will bump everywhere for her.
Chelsea is definitely going to sell her ass off. She'll probably be the one that eats the pinfall. I agree with you, even though I'm rooting for Ethan and Chelsea. I think Tavion and Tyra are going to pick up the win here. Kind of put them on the map, I guess. But I really was hoping for something different for Tavion Heights. I really didn't want him to get lumped into another, I guess you would say, group. He's in the pairing here with Tyra May. Just don't make this a long-term thing. I don't want to see him just be the, hey, I wrestled at the Olympics and I'm American, so root for me. Like
it only works. I think they're only doing it for this pay-per-view.
That's what I'm saying. I hope it's only for this.
Yeah,
yes.
yeah, and then he's going to feud with Ethan Page for that title.
Yeah, and so that's why they're going to win too. That's how you set up that title match. It might be Tavion Heights pinning Ethan Page, and that's how Heights gets that North American title. You know.
Yep.
Ethan or Ian, what's your official pick? Ethan.
Ian Page.
Ian Page. Ooh, ego.
I'm indifferent about this one because
you're an Ethan Page guy.
I love Ethan Page. I had his OG shirt when he first released him, and that shirt has absolutely faded. That was an awful print quality. Love you, Ethan Page, but holy fuck, it was so bad.
We'll tag him in the video.
Shredded.
We'll tag him. We'll let him know.
In that case, if that shirt would have survived, my prediction would have went to you, Ethan Page. It is not. It is going against you. It's going Tavion Heights and Tyra May Steele.
Yeah. Call Ethan Page, Chelsea Green, and the Secret Service up to the main roster. I want that on the main roster every week.
Yeah.
Yep.
Good. And Ian, I'll send you some of the segments they've been doing. I think you're going to enjoy their act. Another act I've been enjoying lately is the team taking on the champions that I used to like. We have Hank and Tank, honk, honk, taking on Dark State, who finally, here we go. We might actually get a payoff to this faction, and they might stick it up their butts, Jay Gold. That's a Cutler James thing. That's a deep cut right there.
The white guy who can't wrestle or speak. But I am all for Dark State getting a title and now running a bit because there are no other tag teams in NXT that I'm even interested in the least bit. So I am going Dark State title changes hands. Hank and Tank, the title run has been less than ideal, so to speak.
It's been bad. Let's not sugarcoat it. It's been bad.
Yeah, they're good wrestlers together. And when they won the titles, they were jumping all over the place. They were bumping over the tables. It was great. And again, WWE actually, it's across all of wrestling. When the faces finally stop chasing, they have no idea what to do with them. Nothing.
Ian and I were just talking about this earlier. It's funny you bring that up now.
It's every belt,
company.
Every company. And you can even, I'm sure you could even ask Jim Cornette or go back and look at some of his interviews. There's no way he had an idea of how you're supposed. Why was Ric Flair the champ for so long? Because the chase was even better. Even when he won, the chasing him was better. Why was Bruno Sammartino the champion for so long? Wow. Because watching him just kill people and never lose was the draw. There's nothing for. If Bruno Sammartino, when he lost the belt, he was gone. That was the end of him. So there was nothing to. There's nothing to it when they finally win the belts. There's no chase. There's nothing exciting. You can't set up a feud with bad guys on the world champs. Unless they beat, which is what Darkseid should have done, is beat the living hell out of them every week and be like, you'll never beat us. And when we're finally
barely interacted?
Right. Nothing's come of it. But Obafemi, if he was let's say Obafemi wasn't the champ, and let's say Ricky Saints was the champ. Obafemi beats him up every week, literally kills him. And everyone's like, there is no possible way for you to beat Obafemi. This is the impossible challenge, like Rocky and Drago. And then Ricky Saints beats him. That's how you get a face over as the champ. However, what they do is they have these guys wrestle, and then they gimmick and goof every week, and they have no credibility. There's zero credibility to Hank and Tank after they won the belts. When the British Bulldogs had the belts, when they separated them and had them wrestle one, you actually said, oh my God, the tag champs, one of the tag champs is wrestling in a singles match. He must be awesome because he's a tag champ. Here, if you separate the tag champs, you're like, it's just a filler match. It means nothing.
Well, and the problem is too, whenever, and this is a WWE problem especially, I feel like whenever people do win titles, they kind of just get put into segments backstage.
That's what I'm saying. Right. Yeah. It turns into nothing. It means nothing. Why were the tag champs so important to WWE back in the day? When you had the Demolition as tag champs, when you had guys, when they didn't just give the belts to the Bushwhackers. They didn't give the belts to guys who were crummy. The guys
You're
who
talking
won it,
very old right now, Jay Gold.
but I'm saying the guys who won the titles were some of the best wrestlers on the roster.
Yeah, no, I
Brutus
get it.
Beefcake and Greg Valentine, the Demolition, the Road Warriors, the Steiners. When you separated them, you were like, oh my God, these guys, this is a special event. Now,
No.
if you separate the NXT tag champs, you're like, this is just a filler match that means nothing. So
Correct.
I think it has to be Dark State. They need to hold it for a while and they need to kill everybody. And then you'll get more credibility back on the titles if a face team is trying to get to them. So I'm giving it to Dark State.
I
That might
totally
be the bourbon
agree.
talk.
I'm a Dark State fan, actually. I'm going to say it here on this podcast officially. I'm a fan of Dark State. I think there's something there. Let's put the titles on them. Ian,
Do it.
You guys threw a lot at me there.
come on to the Dark State world.
I've seen segments that pop up on the old X sphere. Can't call it Twitter sphere anymore. It's X
Oh,
now.
I still call it Twitter.
No, I do too. But I don't really give a shit about it. I thought that their build up to debuting with Dark State was going to be a giant fucking deal, like Shield levels of debut.
Yeah.
And I remember talking to you. I think I sent you one of the promos, and I was like, I thought these guys were going to be a fucking menace, a wrecking ball.
Well, and we
kind of
also
team.
speculated a leader too. Like a big name. That's another reason
Yeah,
why
I mean-
the hype died down.
I mean, I didn't even care for that. I
okay.
like the idea of Misfits kind of coming together and being that
Like the
brute
Shield,
force,
yeah.
like the Shield, yeah.
Yeah.
And it worked for them.
Right.
I think Dark State still has legs. It's obviously not too late. Again,
Very
it's
early,
NXT,
very early.
so it's a smaller audience. Which, in the grand scope of WWE, it's a smaller audience. So
Correct.
you could build them in any way you want after this. So I don't think it really matters. It's just we got to find some legs instead of making gay innuendo jokes backstage. I get
But
it. It's
I'll tell
entertaining
you
for
this.
some, but
They didn't drop the ball with Dark State. They were like this. Whoa, whoa. Like they were like,
Juggling.
they almost dropped it. And then they stopped them. They pulled them off TV for a bit.
Yeah, we
They
questioned
let
where
them,
the fuck where they were.
Yeah, they let it cool off before they ruined it. And now they bring them back with a little more credibility. So
Right.
it's possible to do. And they can't, they would be, they are going to be better champions, I think.
They are.
yeah.
And that will create, like you mentioned, more babyface teams to go up against them.
Yeah.
Chase U is really who I think is going to ascend back up there. Cale Dixon and Uriah Connors, those two. Yeah, bet you didn't know I knew those names.
They should let Duke Hudson back.
well, I saw they trademarked his name. Why? Is that just for? Yeah, no,
I didn't know that.
So he can't
Interesting.
use it anymore on the indies then?
I guess, yeah. They
He did those cool video packages.
Yeah, that didn't go anywhere.
Yeah, I was going to say, what did that lead to?
I'm gonna take a guess and say his asking price for booking was pretty high, and higher
It's
than
like,
people
dude,
wanted to pay.
what was his ceiling? I think NXT tag champ. I think that's all he accomplished. I
Yep,
I
that
sit
was
here
it.
saying that, talking about wrestling, not getting
We were
paid to
sitting
do it.
on our chairs in our
Yeah,
living
but he's doing way better than I am. But yeah, in wrestling terms. But we got
Sure,
two more
grand
matches to
scope
talk about. This one is for the TNA Knockouts Championship, so the NXT title is not on the line. We got JC Jane defending her title against Masha Slamovich and Ash by Elegance, who is Jay Gold's favorite. He absolutely loves her manager.
Aliens got her. Yeah. The aliens got to her.
This is JC
Took her
Jane,
face.
right?
The more I thought about it, you're right. I don't know. I want Masha to take it back because they really should be having their own titles on their own shows. But I'm going with JC Jane as well. She's doing it. She's working it. I like it. So I can't knock her.
Like we said on the night shift, we heard JC Jane chants on NXT. When the hell did you ever hear JC Jane chants in NXT? I don't remember a time. She's over right now. It is working. The double champ gimmick is a thing, and I think it works for both companies because we are getting both of these women, like all these women, I should say, on both shows, which is great. I love more exposure for these women and for both companies.
Yeah.
Keep this going. Keep the back and forth with TNA and WWE taking their titles going, and have Masha win in a singles match against JC. Make it mean more. Masha has to represent TNA and do it one-on-one. She's not going to do it here in a triple threat. And if we use logic, Ash should team up with Masha here because they're both TNA superstars. But logic is not a thing in professional wrestling, Ian, as you know.
No, and logic does not exist because Why is she still going by the name Ash by Elegance?
That's her gimmick now.
That's what the aliens called her when they
The
stopped
Elegance
her feet.
brand. There's Heather Elegance, Ash by Elegance, and Redhead by Elegance. We don't know her name.
Big Red.
Okay.
But
All right.
no, but when the aliens came and actually face swapped Dana Brooke, they created Ash by Elegance, and
Dana
that's
Brooke,
what
I've
it
never
is.
heard of her. Who is that? I've never heard of her. She's never Ash by Elegance. This is her WWE
gone.
debut, correct?
Yeah.
Dana
This
Brooke's
is
dead.
the first time whoever
Actually, I
this
shouldn't
is
say
has
that.
been on TV. Yeah, you can't do that.
Yeah, we
Allegedly.
can't do
Okay.
Allegedly.
How do you save it? Allegedly. Oh Lord. Yes.
that. Ian, what's your
That-
pick?
JC, I don't care. JC Jane.
Wow. Thanks for caring, buddy. I care about
I love
this main
Masha.
event.
I love Masha. I'll put that on record. Love her. She's awesome.
Who doesn't? I'm excited for this one, boys. Oba Femi taking on Javon Evans. That boy is bouncy. He went viral this week on NXT. I really think this whole story has been for Javon Evans to be the one to take that title from Oba Femi. I just don't know if Heatwave is the right time to do it, Jay Gold. What is your prediction
It's a
for
good
this?
point. It's a good point, but there's
It's
no.
not a big show. It's
But if he
Heatwave.
loses again, it's over. So it has to be him here. Obafemi doesn't need it. He
I
can feud with
convinced you
anybody.
on Tuesday, did I?
Yeah, you did. Yeah, he can. He doesn't need it. He doesn't need the belt anymore. He is
He's
transcended.
done it all.
Yeah, he's transcended what they need. Obafemi's awesome, but Javon Evans should have the belt and feud with Trick. He should feud with everybody. I'm
Mike
with
Santana?
you. Yeah, new title, new champ, Javon Evans.
Yeah, I'm sticking with my pick from Tuesday. I just think the kid's got it. If it's not Javon Evans, I don't know who else you can go to because they already tried Ricky Saints. That was a name that I maybe was considering to beat Obafemi, but Ricky's not being presented big enough to even come close to Obafemi right now. The only one in the stratosphere of Obafemi is Javon Evans. And if it ain't him, it's going to be a free agency signing. I don't know. But I'm going with Javon Evans to become the new NXT champion in the main event of Heatwave. It might be a wild pick, but I don't know where Obafemi goes after that. That's a question for you, Jay Gold, because the main roster's crowded.
Yeah, but he doesn't need to be on the main roster. He just doesn't. He can just be and have matches and be,
Exist in NXT.
coming back like Gunther when he lost his belt and got it back. Like he could do that too. So there's a lot of places he could go.
All right, Ian, what are your thoughts on this one? Like I said, the story has kind of been that Javon Evans has been studying Obafemi and trying to climb the ranks.
I have watched the former Obafemi versus Javon Evans match. That was for the title. I don't remember. I don't know.
The triple threat and the stand and deliver you're talking about?
Yeah,
With
stand and
Trick?
deliver.
With
One of
Trick,
those matches. Yeah. And it's been going on for a long time. So the way I see it, this feud has been brewing, and it's gonna mean something. And when you said that we're like Heatwave, is it a big enough show? I don't think that matters for NXT necessarily. I think they like to pull the trigger on big moments at these just random cards. I mean, look at Keith Lee becoming a double champ at Great American Bash a long time ago. I think that was the first Great American Bash, and it was like, yeah, this is going to be a one-off show.
COVID Bash.
Insane moment. Yes.
Yep.
So let's have Javon Evans become champion. I do have a plan for Obafemi. Please tell me if you guys like my idea.
Is it my idea with Cena?
Not with Cena, no.
Okay, all right, then go ahead.
So what we're gonna do? All right. So what you said about Gunther? Gunther came back after whatever happened. You talked about something. But we're gonna have Obafemi not show his face on TV, but he's gonna get in the ring. It's gonna be under a mask. El Grande Americano.
God damn it.
Listen, Ian. Listen.
He said
Don't ever do that again. Don't ever do that again. Ever.
Even if there's a fire.
Right.
Got
Don't
your
ever-
ass.
Listen, boys, I got somebody upstairs calling for me, but it's a pleasure to be on OTM. I appreciate you having me and doing this. I will see you guys on the webs and on the shows this weekend, and thanks for having me on the main show tonight.
See you later, Jay.
Peace
Thanks
out,
for
boys.
stopping by, man.
All right, see ya.
Always good chatting with that guy. I think he had a couple libations, as Cody Rhodes would say.
Just a couple.
And I pronounced it right that time, didn't I? Libations.
It's with a B, libations.
No, I was pronouncing it libations, and somebody corrected me telling him it was a V. Somebody corrected me telling me it was a V. No, it was Cody. It was Cody on his podcast. He corrected it. He even noticed that he was saying it wrong.
It's a libation. I don't know what he is talking about.
Wow, Cody Rhodes is a known liar, though. That's like a thing.
I looked up libations, and it goes autocorrect for libation.
Okay, so Cody's wrong. Cody's wrong. I'm going to show you the episode he talked about it, and I'm like, wait, that doesn't sound right. It's definitely libations. Okay, Cody, you're wrong. OTM's right. Get roasted. But hey, we are here at the end of the show, and the MVM title is on the line. And Ian, I don't think we had any contenders other than one person, correct?
No. This is a clean sweep.
This was easy. There literally was only one person in the chat. Appreciate you guys showing out as always for AEW shows. The new MVM, Brett Haskell. I wonder if he's still here. Do you think he's here?
He did. He gave a Step Brothers quote. I'm not calling him Dad.
Even if there's a fire. Yeah. Well, speaking of Jericho.
But stupid idiot.
Yeah.
I did warn everybody in the chat. I said the MVM is for the taking, and nobody really jumped on it. So that's on you, Dirk. I'm disappointed in you there.
Yeah, give him the belt. He said, "Oh wait, hold on. I'm catching up now." You're damn right. There it is. I finally caught up. Yeah, Brett. No competition here. Brett basically was Obafemi on this episode. That's my best comparison right there. And Brett, if you don't know who Obafemi is, that's a compliment, my friend. But Ian, we're wrapping up episode 257. What are your final thoughts?
Wrestling industry, please slow down with the pay-per-views. I can only take so much of wrestling. I've slowed down on my intake of wrestling. I have not been forcing myself to watch live every week, which is not fun because I love wrestling and
You're doing a wrestling podcast right now, and you're telling people you don't love wrestling to close out the podcast.
No, not necessarily. I'm just going through the blues of holy shit, this is a lot of wrestling to watch, and it's getting crazy, brother.
I was going to say RIP to that person, but I don't share those sentiments. So if you guys want to show some love to the OTM boys over here, head on over to the On The Mark Wrestling Podcast.com. That's where you're going to get some fire merchandise. We got the honorary mark, the #1 seller. I just got mine in the mail, actually, a new one, because it might fade it if you wear it a lot, which if you buy it, Ian, you're going to wear it a lot because it's pretty cool.
Oh, yeah.
We got some beanies on the shop. What else we got?
We got some baseball caps. We got some tapestry. We got some coffee cups. We got some bottles, water bottles.
Yeah, we got water bottles. Oh, yeah. I think we got those. We got it all over there. So head on over there. Show some love to the boys. And show some love to the boys next Saturday, Labor Day weekend, August 30th. We're starting at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. And when I say we, that will be myself and Jay Gold. And maybe Ian, if he's free. Who knows? Maybe he can kick off the stream with us there. But we're going to be over at mainevent_net and show some love to all the other shows, like the Wrestleaholics, who just had an interview with Jerry the King Lawler. Yes, the Hall of Famer, Ian, Jerry the King Lawler, which is pretty cool. Just, it's awesome seeing what everybody's doing here at the Main Event Wrestling Network.
We have an announcement for interview, could we say?
I haven't worked on the graphic yet, but if you want to announce it, we do have a big announcement.
I forgot the actual date. Is it October?
October 2nd.
October 2nd, our good pal, Big Ben Bishop, as
Big
seen
Trouble.
on Big Trouble. I'm excited for this interview because I have some questions that are not necessarily all wrestling related, and I think that he could give some good insight. I want to talk social media with him because the dude is going through some shit right now on social media for whatever reason. Because
why do people hate on him? Yeah, I don't get it.
I don't know. I'm excited to talk to him though because he is genuinely, as the good brothers would say, he is a good brother, very good dude. So I'm excited to talk to him.
Yeah, I saw him at WrestleCon in New Jersey too, and he knew who I was. So definitely a good brother. And I want to talk to him about his wrestling podcast that he was a part of with Barstool. He was actually featured on that. He was featured on that podcast. Yeah, wrestling. That's how I was. That's how I was introduced to him. Yeah, Big Trouble Ben Bishop was on wrestling, and that's how I found out who he was.
I thought you meant like he had his own wrestling podcast on Barstool.
Oh, no,
Wrestling
but he was on the podcast, yeah.
Okay, yeah, okay.
So pretty cool stuff right there. But yeah, make sure you subscribe to our channel over here. We're on the road to 500 subscribers. We are only 33 away from 500. I can't wait because we get paid once we get to 500, Ian. That's good news.
There's money?
Oh, yeah, there's money once we reach 500.
Start making some burners.
Here we go now. Get us there, guys. And thank you all for listening to the On the Mark Wrestling Podcast.